All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 70 of the West Coast POPcast. I am Zach. With me here is Eric. Eric, how you doing, buddy?
Doing a-okay. Thanks for asking, man.
All right. Knock is not with us. He's taking care of some stuff. We hope he's all well. And Knock, if you get a chance, make sure to hit the comments, like, and subscribe. This week, we got a fun show for you. We got some segments here. We're going to play What If. Marvel just released their show on Disney Plus, so we're going to play along with that and ask what if this and this happened in the wrestling world today. Eric's got a great segment. We're going to be talking about what's going on in WWE with the releases, the shakeups, the heat against Triple H, and all that. We got a lot. We got promo school. We got the weekly wrap up, which will start up in a bit here, and news and rumors. So if you have any comments, hit us up in the chats. We'll hit you up here on the show. All right, let's dive into it.
Let's do
Monday Night Raw. This is basically the same show you've seen the last 3 weeks. I'll just hit on this really quick. Elias is getting a gimmick change. We don't know what it's going to be. He burned his guitar and so on in a little package there. RK Bro basically got all the screen time front to back on Raw here, and Alexa Bliss is continuing with this doll, and she has a new entrance that reminds me almost of a cross between Scarlett coming down to carrying crosses entrance and Frankie Monet's entrance. So, Eric, did you catch any of Monday Night Raw?
I did not. I refuse to subject myself to torture.
Wise man.
But I have seen Raid RK RK Bro being all over the place.
Yes.
The WWE is really pushing them on social media, so Vince must really love this act.
He must, but they're not like a tag team. Riddle got RKO'd at the end of Raw, so
Oh,
yeah.
this
But it's kind of fun. It might be like a big brother kind of little brother kind of thing, so we'll see.
okay.
And they fed Mustafa Ali to T-Bar. I don't know why they hate Ali so much. I don't know, man. Raw is such a mess to me. Jeff lost to Karrion Kross. Yeah, Bliss beat Piper. I don't know what's going on Raw.
Yeah, some weird booking there. I kind of go back to that T-Bar thing. So, I mean, was there a point to this? Is T-Bar and Mace getting built for anything? Was it just to kill time?
I think they're getting built, and I also think they're going to build between Mansoor and Ali becoming like more friends and not like awkward partners.
Mm,
But I mean, I don't know. I just don't like it.
yeah, this is weird. Ali deserves better than what WWE's been giving him.
He does. Let's get the fuck out of Monday night because it's coming up again tomorrow night. I can't keep reliving this show. Let's move on to NXT. Eric, catch any of NXT?
I'm loving the index stuff, the way. Also, congratulations to Johnny and Candice for their first child.
Yes.
That is awesome. Yeah, that they're really entertaining. I'm really glad this storyline has kept going the way it's going. You're gonna have to remind me what else happened because that's the main thing on my mind for NXT.
That's all right. So the good news, the big good news for me is, so we got Pete Dunne and Dragunov at the end.
That's right.
Walter showed up. So for me, the big news is they are both in the United States. This match is actually going to happen at TakeOver. I am so excited for this match. I don't know about you guys, but man, this is like, I don't want to say it's the only reason I'm excited for TakeOver, but holy crap, this makes me excited.
It's gonna be a great match. I hope they get time. I mean, Triple H WWE sold the hell out of their first match. They had everybody rewatch it. They did their reactions on YouTube. They know how good this match is, so they better give them the time they deserve. And boy, Dragunov just better learn to not take certain bumps.
Yeah. Let's see what else happened here. Odyssey Jones, he moves on. He beat Baxter, who came out to. Okay, I'm going to cover this. Two people came out to songs that were different versions of other songs. So we have in wrestling very poor music nowadays. We don't have the composers anymore.
Yep.
There are certain people that have great songs that we like, but this guy came out to a song that is almost identical to a Rage Against the Machine song, much how Dustin Reynolds is. Gold Dustin song is a Green Day song, and then Gigi Dolan came out to a song that is basically Marilyn Manson's Sweet Dreams. So, yeah.
It's not this hard to find someone who can make music. It's really not.
No, it is not at all. LA Knight beat Andre Chase. The Cole O'Reilly built up their feud even more. Boa got a win over Drake Maverick. I don't know, man. I don't see the Boa storyline really taking off anymore. I think they had their chance with the pandemic era where they could do supernatural stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than the index date, that was good stuff.
Yeah. Was this the episode where they revealed the stipulations for Kyle and Adam's feud? I just saw on social media.
Yes.
So I don't know what they're calling it. Is it 3 Stages of Hell or 2 out 3 Falls?
It's 2 out of 3 falls. So Kyle picked the first one, which is going to be. I should have written these down. I think it's a
match.
Yes. Okay. And then what was Cole's?
Street fight.
Street fight. Okay. And then if it gets to a third one, then it's steel cage.
Yep.
War games. Yeah, but that was it for NXT. I'm pretty much building up to this next weekend, which is a huge weekend.
Yeah. Should be a good weekend. We have someone who's going, but I think it's fair to say none of us are going anymore. We decided to just take it in from here. But it should be a good show.
Yeah, tickets are way expensive, especially for way back there. But let's get into AEW Dynamite. Eric, I know you caught some Dynamite. What'd you think of the show?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm blanking on what happened on Dynamite. I'm so sorry, but I know I did see it. We talked about it.
Let me refresh your memory here. The Elite, they beat Dante Martin and the Seidels. Let me just say this: if you can outshine the Elite and the Seidels with moves, you are going places. Holy crap, was he awesome!
That was amazing. I think he might have surpassed Ricochet at this point. That was crazy.
I think so. And I mentioned this in the chat. It's just a shame he looks so much like John Cena. But this kid is so extraordinary. Oh man, I hope they put him on Dynamite more.
I hope so. I think they will. They have to. After that was a breakout performance.
Yep. Daniel Garcia and Darby Allin had their match. The Best Friends and Yuta, Matt Hardy and Private Party. Maybe they're just doing heel stuff. Maybe they're not going for a split just yet from the Matt Hardy brand. But yeah, Matt Hardy taking control of that match and getting the victory, claiming that.
Yeah, he's always done that with his faction.
His faction's growing because they're expecting their 5th kid.
Oh boy, what a wrestling legacy he's gonna leave behind.
Yeah. Let's see here. Nyla had a match.
She did against Statlander. Right after that, weirdly booked match, but you know it is what it is. Statlander would get attacked in the match before, but somehow would overpower Nyla. Even though, honestly, I think Nyla. I don't even like Nyla, but the way they produced that match, she should have won. But yeah, I guess it just helps rankings. I guess it just helps that Statlander's gonna move up in the rankings. So whatever.
Right. And then Britt had a good segment, and Red Velvet did heel moves at the end there. Britt Baker, man. Brittsburg, it should have been more for Britt, but I know she's injured and everything. But man, Britt Baker is just on fire.
She is. She's killing it. If we talk about Rampage, I'll give Red Velvet milk. Okay. I have to give Red Velvet credit because I didn't think she would be a good heel, I guess, because she has to be the heel because Britt's on fire.
Right.
But she actually did fill in very nicely. It sucks that she had to be in that position, but that's just life. That's life in Brittsburg.
That is. Real estate is skyrocketing. The Good Brothers beat Uno and Stu. Shivani had a backstage segment with QT Marshall, and I don't know, what's the point of QT Marshall? I don't know, man.
I don't get it. It's such a weird segment, and I don't want him to be like a big, or at least I don't want him to be a heel who gets segments. I'm fine with him going back to the background, going back to Dark Elevation. If this is to give Paul White a match at All Out too, then I can skip that.
Oh, and we want to see about copying songs. Paul White's new song, "No More BS." You're giving us more Big Show because this is the exact different copying of Big Show's theme in WWE. But what do I know?
There's someone else who does that in AEW, but I can't remember who. It's gonna kick me later, but yeah.
And then Jericho beat Wardlow, and in my opinion, the second shift in plans because of Punk and Bryan happened. Next week now, the 5th is going to be MJF. Not the 5th being a new thing, which we all thought it was going to be, which they announced it as to get to MJF. Now MJF is the 5th entrant here. What do you think of this?
I've made it clear this whole labor. I hate it. It should have been Sammy. This whole build is made for a young person to win week after week and be organically over. The fact that it's been Jericho pisses me off, but this one in particular, I hate that it was Wardlow, because I hate that Jericho, for some reason, is the only person in AEW Dynamite who has the power to beat Wardlow senseless. Even though they produced a match where like Wardlow had most of the offense, every other interaction we've seen him at Wardlow, he beats the shit out of Wardlow, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I think it is motherfucking ridiculous. All right, I want to hop in the chats really quick here. We got Zemo in there. How you doing, man? Everyone in WWE deserves better, and congratulations to Johnny and LeRae on their first child. Our sentiments are the same, Zemo. Man, what a time to have a kid too, because I don't think NXT is going to be the same after next Sunday.
No,
I think it's smart.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, I hate to be that guy, but in this new world of NXT, Johnny and Candice's jobs aren't that safe, so just go for it.
She very smartly Maria Kanellis herself. I think this is the perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
She's like 2 months old, so I guess it was a little bit beforehand, but they probably saw the writing on the wall. Noob and Company, good evening, buddy. How you doing? That Dante Martin guy is great on Wednesday. Yes, he is. He is unbelievable.
That is true.
All right, and you want to read off some of these here from the final boss?
That's right. We've got Knock in the chat. Show some love for Knock. He's out right now, waiting for X-rays. Hopefully, all's good, Knock. Hoping for you. He says, man, Dante Martin is a future star. I completely agree. Shout out to Zach and the Infinity Champion for carrying the show. I mean, you know, you said it, not me. And Zemo for the final one. Doc and Carl should just sign with AEW already. They have appeared on AEW more than Impact at this point. I think they will sign with AEW when their contracts are done, if they continue wrestling.
I think so. Yep. I agree. So let's move on here to Friday Night SmackDown for some sweet apple pie. It was a very fast-paced episode. I liked it a lot. Trash Bags and Roman had a segment in the beginning.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Shinsuke Nakamura and Boogs are your co-intercontinental champions. That was the first thing I saw spoiled right away. I'm glad Shinsuke is getting a second chance with the title. I'm glad he's doing something. So let's see what he does with it. I don't know what.
Let's see what he does with it, but also what a great moment they gave him. They gave him time on camera. They didn't do it during the commercial break. They gave him the fireworks after. They gave him time to celebrate. I thought that was great. Shinsuke really deserved that.
He did. Good on him.
Yep. Oh man. Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. They keep doing 50-50 booking with Alpha Academy. They got to pick a lane with them.
They do. They absolutely do. Especially if Otis isn't going to be comical, you got to make him look strong.
Yep. Corbin and KO. Corbin, man, how low do you get Baron Corbin? What's the low point here?
I was about to say he has to say, I have kids, man, but that's Heath Slater. He's taking it. Just kayfabe, he has kids, but I don't know. It's working. I've seen people talk about it. I still don't understand it, but people are talking about it. People like it.
I think the wife has to leave him on air.
Yeah, I think so.
Like just something bad, but like something real. All right.
It'd be awkward, but if they can get IRS to come back and just take everything he's got.
Well, they're not going to do that with his kids being fired.
I mean, if they can ask Zack Ryder for his pool after they fire him, they have no shame.
Can we borrow your dad really quick, Bray? Yeah. Thanks. All right, Los Mysterios versus Rude and Ziggs. I feel like they're kind of breaking up. They're doing this little build breakup to father-son here. Son's getting a little too cocky in the ring. Father's trying to guide him along. If they do this right, it's exactly what we said to do. I think 4 or 5 months ago, when we predicted once they get the titles off them, you do a slow build. You have those two face at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I hope they do, but I mean, Dom has been wrestling more against more people, but I still want him to wrestle a bit more. I want to make sure if they separate him, he can stand on his own 2 feet.
Yep, I agree. And Sasha and Bianca contract signing. Sasha has Carmella and Zelina in her corner. I like a little heel stable. That's all right.
Yeah, something different. Mix it up.
Yeah. Sasha looking like $1 million. I want to go back to trash bags and Roman here really quick. So one, you caught the CM Punk references and the AEW thing. Okay. The one thing that bothered me, he talks to Roman and says, "You think this belongs to you? It belongs to all of them." No, it doesn't. You think Bray would have been fired if it belongs to us?
Right.
You think Ali would be getting buried on Raw if it belonged to us? You think I'm not going to SummerSlam because nosebleed tickets are $200? That doesn't belong to me.
It's crazy. I wasn't a big fan of this promo of them two together because they did the thing where it's like, oh, we're breaking the fourth wall a little bit. We're using terms that only the marks know about. What was it? What is he gonna say? I can't remember, but they used a lot of fourth wall breaking terms, and I'm like, come on, guys, there's a fine line, and you're overdoing it.
Yeah, we'll get more of that next week on Rampage when CM Punk shows up.
Yeah,
let's talk about Rampage right now. The brand new show, AEW Rampage, Friday nights after SmackDown and before I sit down for ROH. Run down what you thought of the show.
I really liked it. It was a great hour of wrestling. I'm sorry that we spoiled the ending for you. I didn't even realize until after you said it.
That's my fault for being in the chair.
But great show. Christian Cage is your new Impact champion. It makes perfect sense. He's a TNA guy, so I'm sure Scott D'Amore is happy with that. And it's still in AEW technically, so AEW is still winning. Second match. What was our second match? It was
Fuego del Sol. It's your guy.
He is my new guy. Mobile, Alabama. A luchador from Mobile, Alabama.
So can I ask really quick before you get into the breakdown? Is he supposed to be legit or is he a joke? Because he came across as either one. I haven't seen this guy enough to know for sure. So
it's tough. Knock could definitely expand on this more, but he's definitely enhancement talent because his record is awful.
Right.
You watch him on Sammy Guevara's vlog and BT. He is a joke. He has their sense of comedy, so that's probably why he's so popular with them. But I think he's supposed to be like that underdog, like that true underdog that could win with a roll up one day, you know?
Fantastic.
Yeah. So the build up worked for me. To see him get a contract was a nice moment.
Yeah, let's keep hiring people. Yeah. What'd you think of the match itself?
Great match. I actually did think he was going to beat Rusev with all those tornado DDTs. I liked it.
It was a fun match.
Yeah. And then finally, Britt Baker, Red Velvet. Props to Red Velvet. Complete props. I did not think I was going to like her in this position. I thought Penelope Ford should have been here, but I'm still not a Red Velvet fan. I'm still not there yet, but this is my favorite match of hers. And Britt Baker knows how to play the crowd.
Yep.
We saw fans boo when Rebel got thrown out. That was weird.
Yeah, man.
But good on them. Britt Baker's still champ. They gave her a main event. Now just do it for Dynamite.
All right. I loved Rampage. Let me just say it was a very fun hour. The two things I didn't like, they gave Britt the main event on the secondary show.
Yeah.
Consolation prize. They gave Christian Cage the Impact title consolation prize.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. I do think the Impact title works with Christian, but it's just, man, you're I don't know. I feel like maybe they said you're going to be a champ, and he thought AEW champ, and I'm sure he's okay being the Impact champ again, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I get you.
we're going to touch on that in our what if segment.
I I think I'm okay with it because so remember that game I've been playing, Fire Pro Wrestling World?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a GM mode. Sorry, my eye is burning me because you're making me laugh so much. I'm tearing up. Um, there's a GM mode where you can win titles from other promotions, and the more titles you have, the better your show because you can show them off. So
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with it because, in some weird way, as a GM, AEW gets to hold on to the Impact Championship for a little longer because they have Christian Cage. So as long as they have more titles, I'm cool with it.
Okay. Um, yeah, well, everyone's getting more. Yeah, that's it for Rampage. Good showing though. Good first showing.
Yeah.
Zemo in the chat says, bad enough the Impact title is still in AEW, but it is in the hands of another ex-WWE superstar. I love Cage, but the sooner the title is back in Impact, the better. Um, let's see where you're going to test me here. Do not slander Impact title. It is far more prestigious than the AEW World title.
Ooh, don't ask Jericho. Don't tell that to Jericho. Fucking put himself over in the AEW title in commentary.
That he has to go. He has to go. When Taz doesn't want to talk, you know something's wrong with the commentary team. I love Mark Henry. I really wanted to hear Taz more. Man, Jericho, too loud, too much talking. Didn't know if he wanted to be a heel or a face. Overselling everything. Him on the mic reminds me of JR and Michael Cole. Just bring it down. Bring it down.
Yeah.
Don't sell us on everything.
Yeah, don't bring him back next week. And in answer to Zemo's thing about Christian Cage having the title, I think Knock will agree with me, or at least maybe I'm agreeing with Knock. I think Christian is just as much an Impact guy as a WWE guy. You know, he had time in WWE, of course, but I think his best work, even I can say, came from Impact. So that's a true Impact star given a championship.
I agree. All right, let's get into ROH. Two matches on ROH. One of them, I'll get into the women's match second so we can talk about the tournament brackets. But the main event is very cool. It was Champs versus All-Stars. So you had Flip Gordon, the Briscoes, Woods and EC3 versus Dragon Lee. Oh my God, Dickinson. I can't remember his full name.
Chris Dickinson, or I know who you're talking about, but I just can't remember the first name.
Homicide, yeah. Gresham and Bandito. So the All-Stars won. Very cool thing to do.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And on the women's side, Holodead lost to Max the Impaler. So we have our brackets up. These are what it's going to be as of right now. This episode of ROH runs all week. So if you want to catch up on the episode, it's what it is. But we have the standings up. We each have our person on there. We each got a decent amount, 2 to 3 each, depending on the person. So it's anyone's opportunity. Hop in the chats if you want to join someone's team. And once we know that you're on there, we will include you in the winner and losers promo school thing that we have planned up for the end of this tournament.
Yeah. Angelina Love's still your favorite to win overall?
I think so.
Yeah. Knox lucky pick.
Yep.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Good tournament. I'm liking it now that it's on regular TV too. ROH Women's Wednesdays. Tune into that too as well on their YouTube channel. Last night, I don't know how many of you caught this. I know Knock and I were checking it out. AAA Mania number, was it 29, I think? Or
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. That happened. It was over 3 hours long. I want to give them credit. It really felt like a big fight feel to it. They do the 6-sided ring, which works and it doesn't work. It's a lot of the same types of characters and mannerisms in it. So when they had their battle royal, it just seemed like I couldn't keep track of exactly who was on there because it is mostly masked men. But it is a lot of the same kind of character work from a lot of these individuals. But give it a watch if you can. The main things to check out for me: Tyson Cage versus Laredo Kid. The Viking guy, I can't remember his name, and the Lucha Bros. That was a cool match. Lucha Bros know how to work any kind of ring. They really did the 6-sided ring well. Deonna Purrazo beat Apache. She is your new AAA Women's Champion. She now holds both titles. that and Impact. This woman is having one hell of a year, one hell of a run. Best thing that happened to her was getting released by WWE.
Absolutely. It's crazy. This is just kicking them in the ass.
Yep. She's building herself up to be such a huge star just on the indie scene. Whatever contract she does next, if it's Impact again or whatever, she can easily ask for a pay raise.
Oh, definitely.
All right. And the other main event too, the main event is fun. I think it was more fun if you knew the wrestlers. One of the guy was like Crazy Clown or whatever, and he won, and the other guy lost his hair. But then they showed respect at the end, so that's kind of cool. The big match, though, Omega versus Andrade. Conan came out with Omega. Ric Flair came out with Andrade. I think it's pretty safe to say that Ric Flair is going to be All Elite. Charlotte was backstage as well. She did not make an appearance Saturday night at a planned house show where she was advertised to show because she did go to Mexico for this. But Kenny Omega retains the belt. The original ending to this was for Andrade to take it. They just didn't want to have him lose back-to-back nights.
I think I would be fine with that. Been perfectly fine. It makes sense to lose one championship and then lose the other right after. You're mentally unstable. That's
exactly, and physically. That was a great match between him and Christian.
Yeah, that's a shame because we all predicted that Kenny would lose, but
yeah,
well, guess later date.
Yeah, they kind of teased another match too, so he will probably take it from him eventually. Ric Flair did get involved. Conan did get involved. I do think Ric Flair is going to try to have another run, especially after seeing Sting. This match and the women's match were kind of clunky. I feel like for the women's match, it's just two people who don't really work together. They're in different parts of the country, so maybe that was just kind of like a, if you're two musicians jamming, you're just kind of like getting the feel for each other. But Omega and Andrade, after knowing about Kenny's injuries and his match, that was really awesome on Rampage. We obviously know why that was clunky.
Right.
But my one thing about the 6-sided ring, so there's a spot where Andrade, he runs back, so you don't splash on the ropes and then go forward in the 6-sided ring.
Yeah.
You go and you hit your back very hard on a turnbuckle, like very violently hard, and then he runs and Omega moves out of the way, and a little less hard he hits the front end of himself on the turnbuckle, and that knocks him out. But that's my thing with the 6-sided ring. But
yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Let's stick with 4 sides.
Yeah. You catch anything else this week in wrestling?
What else was there? Not really. No. Kind of taking it easy. Again.
Yeah.
Maybe next week I'll do my homework.
Don't worry. I got you covered.
Appreciate it.
All right. In the chats, if you got anything, let us know. Eric, any chats that you want to catch up on real quick?
Yeah. We got Zemo in response to the ROH tournament. I swear I will be pissed if Angelina beats Max. I will be too, because I don't want Knock to win this tournament. And Cage carried Omega to his best match this year. So when people make fun of like AEW having Hangman Page and Brian Cage and Christian Cage, I'm like, come on, it's not that big a deal. I can tell who's who. But for a second there, I did think you meant Brian Cage. I was like, when the hell did they wrestle? Do you think this was Omega's best match of the year?
For me, it was his most exciting.
Yeah, I get that.
You?
Yeah, most exciting because I mean, we went in saying Christian was going to win, but I mean, you never really know until the 3 count.
Right. Yeah, Noob and Company, Mandy Leon got robbed. Hope Angelina Love wins the ROH Women's Tournament. I just feel Angelina Love is, I don't want to say the safe choice, but I think it's safe because then she can basically lead the locker room. This is going to be a very new locker room with women in ROH, so I think that's a smart thing, and she's a television draw.
Nice. I just hope they're all getting paid properly.
Yep. All right, let's move on to some news and rumors. Do you have anything at all?
How about you go first, and I will pull up my news and rumors.
I really don't have too much. I basically was just working and watching all these shows, so I just basically have ROH is teasing NXT WWE releases at Death by Dishonor. They also did find a new place to hold Death by Dishonor this week, so if you do have tickets for that, you will get reimbursed. ROH is also trying to open the forbidden door by asking on Twitter, who would you like to see cross the forbidden door and have ROH work with? I would like to see ROH work with everyone, but I think ROH needs to make sure that they don't
Impact themselves.
it, pretty much. They need to say like, hey, look, we need to have some say in what's going on your show as well, because we can't just keep getting jobbed out and friends of the elite are looking strong and that's it.
Yeah. If I was ROH, I would tell them we could have great matches, but that's it. Let's leave championships out of it for a while.
Yep, especially the pure championship. If you want a pure shot, you come to ROH and get that pure shot.
Oh yeah. Oh, if AEW gets Daniel Bryan, then he has to go take that. Or not, he doesn't have to win it, but he has to go take a shot.
Yep.
All right. I guess the only news I have is what's going to lead into our discussion. So I don't know if you want to save that for later or.
We can get into it now if you want. If you want to do the discussion now, or if you want to
Right.
do something else now.
All right, cool. Was that all your news? I didn't mean to step on you there.
That's really all I have. Everyone knows about everything else. The CM Punk stuff. CM Punk we mentioned on NFL. Him dropping hints. Candice and Johnny Gargano. So everything is pretty much done.
Yeah, it's been a pretty slow news week. Well, all right. So what's going to lead into our discussion is if you guys have been following, after the releases of the NXT wrestlers, it's been said that it was due to an internal power struggle in WWE. Apparently, there are two factions. One side that's standing behind Triple H, one side that really doesn't want him in charge. And again, this is all rumors, but the most wrestling news that we can get, because it's, Dave Meltzer or somebody got an email from somebody who said, this is what's going on, guys. But
and then as vultures from the internet and YouTube, we sink in there and grab the scraps.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and discuss WWE's power struggle and what does it mean for WWE in the future. Zach and I touched on this right before we recorded, that Triple H, it looked like he was the chosen one. It looked like he jumped ahead of the line, ahead of Shane, ahead of Stephanie. He was going to get the keys to the kingdom, but things are looking pretty shaky right now. Let us know in the chat, do you think Triple H's job is safe in that regard? But I'll ask you, Zach, if Triple H doesn't get the keys to the kingdom, who does? What's going to happen?
I think what's going to happen, and I really do think this is no matter what, I don't think Triple H is getting the keys to the kingdom. Vince is going to die running the company. I think then it's going to go to Tony Khan, who then is either going to sell it off or he's going to try to bring someone else in to run it. I don't think Stephanie, I don't think Shane, and I do not think Triple H are going into that position. You still have Laurinaitis and
Bruce Pritchard.
Thank you, Bruce Pritchard. Now they're going to be in charge of NXT storylines going forward, and they have been for a little bit now. That's got to piss Triple H off. Pisses me off as a fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Nick Khan is going to be the guy who is like willed the company.
I'm terrified, but also kind of excited at the idea that I think you're right. I think Vince does run this for a long time, but I don't know if he has some kind of clock on his desk that tells him, hey, you're a year from dying, because this guy for some reason just doesn't want to admit that he's old. I think he is going to sell the company off. And
you think he'll sell before he passes?
I think so. I don't know what he does with all that money, but I think he sells it. I hope it's to Disney, because that would really jumpstart something. I hate to say it, I would trust Disney to run WWE. I think they would hire people. I don't think Disney knows shit about running wrestling. It's like they're in there like fantasy booking. But you look at like Star Wars and look at Marvel, not the movies, the shows, the Disney Plus stuff. They hire people who know what they're doing. So I trust that they would hire either people in the wrestling world, or they would just keep the people they have on and have them teach Disney executives in a transitional role. I think if Disney buys WWE, it jumpstarts it into something better than what the hell we're getting right now, because right now things are falling apart.
Yeah. It's just so crazy to see that, like, he just, again, I said this on the show, he just wants to put out this like boxed in product that it works for enough global viewers to keep like basic fans satisfied, not real smart marks, and to keep advertisers and stockholders happy. Like that's all that they're putting out.
It is, but I mean, I guess I haven't heard anything about advertisers, so I guess he's keeping them happy, but he can't even keep his networks happy. Every week it
Right.
feels like we're hearing something. USA isn't happy. Fox isn't happy.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with all this here. You got to be pissed if you're Triple H, man.
You
Like
have to
you
be.
got to be so pissed. You're like groomed to be like that guy. Like even if he thought he was going to be like working for Stephanie, like you're still kind of getting groomed doing these positions. He hasn't been doing any of that, and God, I don't think I've heard anything in the last 2 3 years now of him like learning more about the structure of the company and how to run different aspects of it. So Vince knew ahead of time that like he just didn't want to do it, and the fact that you're like, again, we'll touch on this in one of our segments, but like you're blaming the Wednesday Night Wars for this. Like you didn't care about AEW, but now all of a sudden, since you lost, you're looking at NXT as a failure.
Right.
It just blows my mind.
And it's you look at NXT like as a whole. Cultaholic did a video where they discussed the whole NXT getting blamed for the Wednesday Night Wars, and NXT has constantly been adjusting itself because of Vince. When it started out, it was for younger people, but then Vince just kept
Yep.
stealing all those young people. Like he basically stole their whole women's division. So Triple H
Yep.
had to adjust and get all these indie darlings. You took them. How do you expect NXT to thrive if you keep changing the show? You keep taking what the show is about. Like
Exactly.
it's ridiculous. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a real shame for the women's division too. Honestly, best women's division I think in the world. It's just gonna get butchered now. Um, Man, you see what Vince does with talent on the main roster. He doesn't know what he's gonna do with these women when it comes down to putting them on the main roster. A lot of them are wrestling like main event matches and are backstage, but like they're so good in NXT. They could put on matches they wanted to put on. They could be their personalities, obviously to a WWE degree, but yeah, I feel really bad for some great women that are going to be either let go or shoved into catering.
Yeah. And I mean, what do you do if you're like Johnny Gargano and Ciampa? You're not. At some point, they're gonna look at you and say, "Okay, are you going to the main roster, or do we have to give you the boot because you guys are just here?"
Right, and that's why Bronson Reed supposedly got cut because he did dark matches. Vince saw it. He said, "I don't think this guy is going to be on the main roster." He didn't see it, so then he figured, "Why keep him on the payroll and cut him?"
Yeah. I hate to admit it. There's sometimes when you or not get excited about something, and I don't want to be the downer, so I'm just like, meh. I think Knock said he saw Bronson Reed as like a main roster star. In my gut, I was like, that's not gonna happen because he's not comedic. He's a big guy. Vince is gonna want him to be comedic, and he's not gonna see him as a big athletic. Like I just knew it wasn't gonna work out, but it's a shame.
Yeah. I liked him. I feel he needed more mic work,
Yeah,
but that's the point of NXT. Look at Shayna Baszler. When she first started there, man, Kermit the Frog thought this girl was green, and then she turned into a really outstanding performer.
badass. You know what's gonna be the worst thing about this whole thing is that at some point soon, because it's been a while, Triple H is gonna have a quarterly call with the press, and they're gonna ask him about this, and he's gonna have to give that media answer of, yeah, it's just what happens, everything's okay, but he's gonna be dying inside.
Yep. Zemo in the chat. At this point, I think Triple H will lose his patent with Vince, or his patience with Vince. Sorry about that. Leave WWE and form his own wrestling company. Vince is too stubborn to stop. That's interesting because that's, as we all say, we get sick of saying it. Oh, they should just go to AEW. Vince would fucking, I'm sure, love the holidays if Triple H showed up in a All Elite shirt.
Yeah, Zemo, you're the second person I've seen say in the last 24 hours that Vince would start his own company. That's interesting. I mean, that Triple H would start his own company. That's.
I think it's smart. Sell those WWE stocks and start from the ground up.
Yeah, it'd be risky. I mean, Vince would have to stomp him out, but.
So many contracts coming up. AJ Styles, Pete Dunne. God, so many. I don't know if Vince is going to be holding on to them. I don't know. Someone else is coming up too, and I forgot.
Actually, if Triple H did start his own company, I think people from AEW and NXT would jump ship. I mean, the guy's proven that he can run the promotion.
Yeah, everyone complains about the main roster stuff. Everyone says they had a great time in NXT, and that's what they thought they're going to get on the main roster. But yeah, I feel that is kind of the route to go. Then maybe.
Yeah. Um. Well, that's that discussion. But I don't have a graphic for it. But this is something that I just read last night that I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
So part two of the discussion. Did you see? This is kind of a week old, but did you see Tony Khan's response to the Max Caster rap?
Yes.
How
The full like you mean like he is going to be suspended and has to take training, sensitivity training?
that, and I guess how it got past everyone in the first place.
You want to know how it got past? Knock, pay attention. Not even Tony Khan watches Dark.
That is unfortunately true. Yes. Apparently, so it is pre-taped, and Tony Khan says that he is not involved in the editing of Elevation or whatever the hell it was on. But now he is. So I just wanted to bring up real quick. I don't understand how Tony Khan does as much as he does, because now he's doing the editing for Dynamite, Dark, Elevation, I assume Rampage. And he's got his football team in UK to worry about. He's got the Jaguars. I just want to take a second to say I don't know how he's doing it, but holy shit, I need whatever he's on.
Yeah, he's on $1 billion.
But we'll see what happens with Max Caster in a few months. Maybe he'll come back and rap PC.
He'll be like when Mace, his mom, didn't approve of his rapping, so then he went to church and became like a pastor.
Comes out every week. Yo, I brush my teeth at least 2 times a day. That's real important. That's what my mom say.
Oh, I would love it. Right to censor all over again.
All right, that's it for the discussions.
All right, good discussion. The chat's one last time here before we get into the next thing. Noob and Company, NXT really is going downhill after the releases, and so many other NXT went to the main roster. Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah. Poor Triple H has to scramble every week. Zemo, is it too much to ask for Pete Dunne to leave WWE and go to ROH? He'd be great fit for the Pure division. Yeah, he would be. He would be so good down in the Pure division. And lastly, Zemo at Noob and Company, at least the release talent will be free to do whatever they want to be successful. Yeah, that's another thing too. They can do anything they want.
Yeah.
Look at Tyler Breeze. He's not going to AEW right now when his clause is up, because he knows, he said in an interview too, that they got too much going on right now with Punk, Bryan, and other people coming in like 2.0. Why get lost in the sauce just because you can? So smart on Tyler Breeze. He's taking care of other business, and if you want to cry, watch him leave up, down, down.
Yeah. Smart dude. I don't think I could do that. Like, I think I would just jump straight to AEW. I don't have the patience for it.
Rent is a bitch.
That's true.
All right, I'll put you in charge of chats here. We're going to go into our next segment. So I got to use my phone here. And basically, if you want to really quickly, I haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil it, please. Elevator pitch how much you enjoy Marvel's What If on Disney Plus.
All right. It is a absolute fun little mini story. Basically, it asks, what if one little detail changed in the Marvel Universe? I'm not going to spoil anything, but this one deals with Captain America and Peggy Carter. It is a truly fun story. That, like, I'm not going to... They're not all going to be fun, because, I mean, there was one that got canceled because it was too dark with Spider-Man, apparently. But I will just say that I would not have minded if this was the actual canon MCU story.
Okay. Rumor has it, with everything being done in the multiverse, it may kind of become canon in some way. So they may reference it in the movies. Also, Marvel boss, like, I don't know if you heard about the comment he had about Shang-Chi. It's not going on Disney Plus premiere. It's going straight in theaters. And he called the film some kind of an experiment. He chose the wrong words for a movie of that type. I commend the cast for stepping up and correcting him on that. because that was not cool.
That is not. I really
Also on
hope
the
this
Marvel
succeeds.
side, what's that?
I was just saying, I hope that movie succeeds because
I do too. I hope. I know it's not going to make Black Panther money with the pandemic, but I hope it proves that asshole wrong. And also, Venom: There Will Be Carnage is getting pushed back, so we may not even see Spider-Man, No Way Jose or whatever this one's called until the summer instead of December now. So,
oh come on.
yeah, way to go, Sony. All right, but for this segment, we are going to go off of Eric's description here of what if. So we're going to play the same type of a gag here with wrestling storylines that are current. I got 5 of them here. The very first one: what if the Hurt Business never broke up? So if they were still together, would we even see Goldberg and Lashley, or would we be getting like a good feud with the New Day? Would the Hurt Business be a part of this Goldberg feud in some way? Would there be stipulations? Would Goldberg would have had to run through the Hurt Business to get to Lashley? Let us know in the chats too what you think. But Eric, what if the Hurt Business never broke up?
Hurt Business never broke up. All right. I think, has Cedric or MVP's, not MVP, Shelton Benjamin's contract run expired at all during this time, like from when they broke up to now? It's just been one straight contract, right?
Yes.
Okay. I hate to say it, but I think if the Hurt Business never broke up, Cedric and Shelton would have every right to demand more money because Hurt Business was the best thing on Raw.
Yep.
They stay together. I think Goldberg still happens. I think they are fed to Goldberg so that Goldberg can look strong. Hopefully Lashley beats Goldberg at SummerSlam. But yes, I do think that they would have been released because I think that they deserve more money. And unfortunately in WWE today, if you have too much money, they release you. So maybe they're living in the brightest timeline where they are in catering getting paid their small contract. But I think you are right. We would have eventually gotten a really cool New Day feud. They could have actually had a 3-on-3. We probably would have gotten maybe something with Keith Lee, like Keith Lee going up against all of them. There are storylines that just weren't that could have been done that were wasted away.
I agree. If you have any comments in the chats, let us know what you think. But yeah, I agree with you. And I do think Goldberg running through the Hurt Business would have been a better storyline than just him coming out and saying, hey, I want a match. Please let me know now because Wheel of Fortune's on in half an hour.
I hate that he has a continual Money in the Bank like briefcase every time he shows up. He just requests the match whenever he feels like it.
Yeah, Corbin, go steal his fucking briefcase.
Right.
Leave Biggie's alone. All right, let's move on to the next one. What if Christian never became All Elite? Again, I feel like he got... and you can hit me up in the chats. I know it's a prestigious title, but the Impact title is not the AEW title, which I feel like he was kind of told or he's going to win or something. Would he have had a feud going into SummerSlam, which was what kind of originally planned, with Edge? A big build up to this, a big final match between the two that was rumored to be taking place. Eric, what if Christian Cage never became All Elite?
I don't think we would have been hearing from him right now. I don't think SummerSlam happens. I think he would have been a prop in Edge's storyline going into WrestleMania, and I do not think him and Edge would have happened at SummerSlam. So
okay,
this is the brightest timeline for him for sure.
Okay, if that match did happen with Edge, do you think that is better for his career? A big send-off match between the two, or do you think winning the Impact title on Rampage is a better fit for his career as a whole?
I'm going to say the Impact Championship because it's the same thing with Mickie James. I don't think WWE respects him as much as they should. So I really can't picture him getting a big match with time at SummerSlam. Like, I could see if they did get a match, Edge would, I don't know. I just don't see it being what he would deserve.
I agree. It would have to be Edge really like telling Vince, like, no, this needs to happen. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next one here. What if Bray Wyatt never got released? So we saw whatever the fuck that was at WrestleMania. Like, what would have happened to Alexa Bliss? Would she still be doing this character? Would there have been an end game to the character between her and Bray? there would have been more interaction, obviously. But what if he didn't get released? What would be going on with the Fiend, who is supposed to be rumored back like this week or last week originally? And what would be going on with Alexa besides her new awkward beginning and that stuffed doll?
I can't tell you how many times a day I think about this question. That fucking WrestleMania match still haunts me because
you know what haunts me, Eric? That picture right there with Bray without the beard.
Oh my god, yeah. JoJo has to turn over and wake up to that every day. Oh man. I don't know, this one pisses me off the most because there was an answer. There's a storyline that Bray had ideas. He knew what he wanted to do, but I don't know. Does it end with a mixed match, a mixed gender match, a one-on-one, Alexa versus Bray? Does it end with them coming back together? What was the point of all this? I just don't get it.
I want to know a point. I want someone to come out and say what the original storyline was for this. I don't know. I honestly, that's what I would have did if he wouldn't have gotten released. I think they should have ended this at one of the big pay-per-views. It doesn't really need to be WrestleMania because this would kind of even be running its course by the time Royal Rumble hits. Yeah, I would do an intergender match between the two, and I would almost have I don't know, just like this big, weird, fatal finish between the two, and then both of them go back to different characters after the match.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's crazy to say, but WWE has killed off two amazing characters from Bray Wyatt, and Alexa is trying. She's doing a great job with her character. She is not to blame at all for anything that's wrong with this character.
Nope.
It's WWE.
Yep.
So who knows what if? Only Bray can answer that.
Let's go to the next one here. We touched on this with the Triple H news and on NXT. What if the Wednesday Night War never happened? So this is considered to be one of the main reasons these cuts happened, why Triple H is being let out of the loop. The Wednesday night slap fight, it didn't matter to Vince, but now it matters to Vince because they lost, and AEW is gaining steam. They're hitting around 1 million. I can't find the Rampage ratings for some reason. I don't know why they're always hidden for AEW most of the times. But SmackDown pulled in 2.4. So, but yeah, the Wednesday Night War. I mean, I guess you can say you won the war when you're pretty much killing the competition here. What if the Wednesday Night War never happened? Do you think it would have gone on USA? Do you think it still would have been on the network? Do you think NXT would still be a thing now? Do you think we'd be worrying about it going into SummerSlam weekend?
Ooh. So, okay, so if it doesn't happen, I guess it doesn't go on USA because the reason it went there was for the war, which means that this is the darkest timeline because it has to go on Peacock. Oh, man, imagine trying to watch that on Peacock every week. And then, I guess the quality would still be there. I mean, Vince would continue not to care. Maybe for another. I think Triple H would have gotten like a year or two more before this news happened. This was bound to happen eventually when when Vince sneezes and accidentally looks at NXT. But I think he gets another year or two where he gets to prove that he is the best thing when it comes to booking in WWE.
Yeah. I honestly they dug their own grave on this. Why did you do it? And also too, if you really had brass balls like you thought, why wouldn't you try to move one of your other shows against it? I know you have network commitments and you can't, but I don't know. If you're not going to go full on and try to crush them right away, why even do it if they don't matter to you?
Exactly.
That's sad. That's really sad. I really liked NXT. I'm really, really bummed at what's going on in WWE. I really fucking hate it.
Yeah, Triple H has been put against the wall so many times, and they just threw him into a war. They barely gave him any help.
Exactly. And shame on USA too. They didn't really advertise much more than they advertised the Chrisleys more. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, let's hit up the final one here. What if Ronda Rousey didn't take wrestling fans so personally? This one, it's just, let's put aside the fact that she wanted to have a kid. Let's just put that to the side. A lot of people in wrestling want to. So no matter where they stand in whatever company. That's just a thing that happens. But her taking stuff so personally, even when they turned on her in her run, she really, really took it personally. She doesn't hold back on Twitter. She recently called out fans on Twitter about Bray Wyatt and how they chant for beach balls but didn't chant for him while he was there and all that kind of stuff. Do you think she'd be back by now? Sans having a kid. Do you think she'd want to come back after, she was comfortable after having a kid? Do you think she'd be excited to come back, or what do you think would happen if she didn't take the fans so seriously?
So here's the thing. I'm glad she took the fans so seriously. I think what we got is the best. Because if Ronda comes back, when she was there, her run, she was great. Like, she as a performer was good. But the problem with having Ronda Rousey there is that she has to kind of be the focus of the division. She has to take up so much time, so much resources. So that year was great, but I was glad when it was over because we got to go back to the normal women's division.
Yep.
So I'm glad she's not back. I've had my fill with Ronda for a year. You did great, kid. You want to come back for one match? Cool. If she doesn't take him personally, then she's not convincing heel going into WrestleMania, because honestly, like, her being kind of a crybaby kind of sold it, like being upset that they turned on her. Yeah, I think what we got is the best case scenario. I'm cool with her not coming back.
Okay, I'll take that. But yeah, that's what if. Maybe we'll try doing it again sometime with some other scenarios. But yeah, leave comments on what you think would have happened.
And let's hit up Zemo and Nuko. Let's see, what did you guys think? Zemo, if Shelton and Cedric would still be relevant if Hurt Business was still active. I agree. I just think eventually they ask for more money, and Nick Khan is like, "What? You want more money? Get out." Nubenko, Cedric and Shelton should have stayed on the group, and they should have won at WrestleMania 37 this year. Agreed. Nubenko, Bray should have came back and turned Alexa Bliss back to her normal self, but instead of the whole supernatural nonsense. And finally, from Nubenko, NXT should have been on Tuesday nights instead of Wednesday nights. This is why I don't like flip between channels. I really don't know what is going on with Vince and Triple H. Nobody does.
It's weird. Yep. All right. You got another segment for us?
Yeah, I've got a quick little one's gotta go.
Okay.
So, we touched on it earlier. And this kind of relates to your what if, because I'm going to ask you. We've got Sting. He's had a couple matches. He's been doing pretty well. So, he's pretty good so far. I like what he's doing with Darby's, as Darby's manager. I haven't always liked it 100% of the time, but majorly, I love it.
Yeah.
My question to you is, Ric Flair being AAA, we think he's coming to AEW. If you could only choose one of them, Ric Flair or Sting, to have one final run, you've seen what Sting can do. Do you think Ric Flair would outshine that, but at the cost of Sting's run? Would you do it?
No. After seeing last night, the chops were a little iffy, and it took him a while to hit that figure 4.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
Yeah. I love Ric Flair, man. Like, I'm such a mark for him, but he can do whatever he wants, but I think I'm good on him.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Rampage. We've talked about it. Too many people on commentary. There was a certain voice that that really kind of undercut everyone. So, for the purpose of the game, one's got to go. Who's got to go from that commentary table?
Jericho.
Of course. Then my question to you is, if you could build the Rampage commentary team, who's on it? Who's on it week to week?
I would have Mark Henry. I would have Taz. I would try to find someone other than Excalibur, because Excalibur is doing a lot already. So just to give him a break, because he is good.
I like that. I'm gonna.
You know what? I'm sorry to cut you off, but I would find a woman to put on. I want a woman commentator. I love Beth Phoenix, and I don't think she's going to be around after Sunday. I don't know. I'm sorry. Again, NXT after Sunday is just fucking. It's going to be weird.
That is a good call. A woman commentator would be great. Damn, I do want a woman now. I wanted the 2-man team. I was gonna say Mark Henry, and I would offer Booker T the role, just so he and Mark Henry could have an hour of back and forths. But you know, if they could find a woman to fill in that third seat, I'd be down for that. All right, next up, All Out. So we got Christian. He is going to get an AEW title shot at All Out, as things are going right now. Would you have him win so you could have CM Punk versus Christian Cage, or do you stick with Kenny versus CM Punk?
I'd stick with Kenny versus CM Punk just because of the money, but like, it's not going to be that awesome of a match. Punk is going to have ring rust, and Omega has multiple injuries. So again, last night's match against Andrade wasn't that great. It was cool, but I mean, it wasn't. He got burnt out against Christian. He used almost everything he had against Christian.
Yeah, I'm scared for Kenny. I want the guy to be able to move when he's older. So I hope the guy just takes time off and lets his body heal. Yeah, no, I keep holding out hope that Hangman will somehow find a way into the storyline, but I know he's taking time off soon.
Yep.
Just sucks. I mean, good for him. It doesn't suck, but the story should end with him. And last question. This is more of a booking prediction. But next week, we've got the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express for the tag titles. Is it time for Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to hold tag gold?
It is. I just feel like what they're doing with the Elite, it feels like they're trying to build to like some big end game kind of thing. But week after week, I kind of don't think that anymore. So I say I give it to him. Give Jack Perry some time with the belt and all that stuff. He's talking more on the mic, so slowly build him up.
I like that. Yeah, I'm rooting for Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus because they could both, especially Luchasaurus, need something to push them up.
Yep.
And Jungle Boy's earned it. I don't think he gets a TNT championship anytime soon, so I say give him the tag belts and let Marco. You know what? Here's a bonus question. Would you do the Freebird rule? Would you let Marco Stunt be a third champion?
Sure.
I'd take it. I'd want to see it. I want, in the AEW history books, Marco Stunt, AEW Tag Team Champion. But that's what I've got. Noob & Co. says Jericho needs to go in regards to that one gotta go about the commentary.
Yep.
That's
all right. Cool. Like it. We're at the end here. It is promo school time. We are here. I hate to put the whole burden on you, Eric, but today we're going to roast some people. CM Punk is coming this Friday. Rampage, United Center, Chicago. It's going to be huge. It's going to be probably the most talked about thing this weekend. I don't even think The Rock coming back at SummerSlam is going to top this at all. No. Maybe if he does something cool, like lights his name on fire at WrestleMania. Ooh, that was dumb. It's going to be a big thing. So he's going to come out. I expect he'd try to do something like a pipe bomb instead of rather just like a run in and start a feud with Kenny. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, you'd want that. So like I know he's going to come out and probably like rag on WWE. He might even rag on working for Fox. He's going to roast some people. So, Eric, you are a well-known wrestler. You are coming on Rampage. This isn't CM Punk. This is you.
Okay.
Coming on this promotion. Everyone knows who you are. You're Eric. Everyone knows you. Everyone knows when you get the stick in your hand, you got to have your ears open because you don't know what you're going to say. You are coming on Rampage. You are going to roast some people because that's what people expect. So, about, I don't know, anywhere between, as long as you want. You're going to roast some people on the mic with your arrival and AEW Rampage. If you want to start a feud with someone, that's fine. But if you want to roast anyone from any organization, if you want to roast anything, any previous job, whatever you want to do, just roast some people. Let me know when you are ready. And again, you are going into AEW Rampage.
Okay. I'm ready. Now, I'm not going to deny it. The dirt sheet's been talking about it week after week. Will Eric show up on Rampage? Is Eric here to stay? You damn skippy I am. See, Rampage is where I'm going to be. I'm not even going to mess with Dynamite. I am not going to that piece of shit. Alright? The only reason I'm here in Rampage, first of all, just so you all know, is because Tony Khan has the most money. I don't give a damn about his vision. I don't give a damn about his fanboyness, about him being a mark. I don't care if he memorized every match that's ever existed. Congratulations, you're a 93-year-old virgin, Tony Khan. You look like one. But I'm here on Rampage because, quite frankly, I'm disgusted by the wrestling scene. I went to WWE. That place is awful. They waste, 30 minutes letting some guy who sits at the head of a table talk in slow motion? If I wanted to see Romeo and Juliet, I'd go down to the park. Alright? And then let's talk about Ring of Honor. They offered me a contract. I said no. Why would I want to wrestle in some dark closet for 30 minutes? Huh? Their pure division title? It's pure horse shit. And now, NWA. You guys, you're making a comeback. Congratulations. You got your little tournament. You got Nick Aldis carrying the company. How about, if you guys want me to take you seriously, you drop the clown act and you actually get serious. I couldn't name one other wrestler there besides Nick Aldis. Oh wait, there's nobody gives a shit. Next up, Kenny Omega. Now, I said I'm not going to be on Dynamite, and I meant that. If you want me, you have to come here to Rampage. I'm going to make Rampage the show of the week. I'm going to make Rampage the best damn show that's ever existed. I'm going to make Rampage the godfather of wrestling. 1 hour, baby. 1 hour a week. You're going to get your workless Canadian ass down here. You're going to hit your little 3 moves, your little 3 dragon sleepers, your V-trigger, and your 1-winged angel. And I'm going to kick out. Because you're done, Kenny. Kenny Omega in his prime is done. I'm just going to ask you to come here to Rampage, come to my show, pay your dues, and give me my championship. And scene.
That was well done. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Well done, Eric. That was very, very nice.
I feel kind of bad for Punk now that you mentioned it. Like, he has to come back and drop this pipe bomb. What if he just completely forgot how? He just completely shits the bed.
He knows how to do it on Twitter, so maybe they put it on the big screen. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, a year ago during the Black Lives Matter movement, he called out AJ Styles as being racist, so he still...
That's true.
Still tries to do stuff.
That is true. Yeah. All right.
All right. That is it. That is our show. That is episode 70. Any last words, Eric?
Man, just episode 70. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, please send some love for Knock. Hopefully everything's okay there. He will be back next week. Be sure to hit the subscribe icon, the bell icon, and subscribe. Leave a comment, a like. We've probably got some videos coming out this week. But let us know if there's anything that you guys think we should be looking at or watching this week in wrestling.
Yeah. Fair enough. That is it. Yes, Knock will be back next week. We'll all be back next week. Next week is a big, big, big weekend. Let us know what you're watching live. Let us know. Let us know. It's Rampage. It's Punk. It's SummerSlam. Impact is having a high five contest on Friday night for some reason against the show that their champion is on. I don't know. Anyways, it's Impact. Yeah, big weekend next weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 70. Have a great week, everyone. We love it.
We do. And Zach, where could they find us?
They can find us in Chicago, living that cult of personality life. Friday night, it's going to be something else, man.
It's going to be a party.
Leave comments. Have a great week, everyone, and be excellent to each other.
Peace out.